4 days ago, hardly anybody knew anything about Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. Now they know a lot, including that news that her teenage daughter is indeed pregnant. Through a statement, the Palin family said 17-year-old Bristol Palin came to us with news that we as parents knew would make her grow up faster than we'd ever planned. And their daughter has our unconditional love and support. She'll have the child she's 5 months pregnant with and marry the 18-year-old father. John McCain knew about the pregnancy and says he considers it a private matter, something his opponent agrees with.
People's families are off limits, and people's children are especially off limits. This shouldn't be part of our politics. Off limits or not, the public announcement was on many minds Monday. Some even said it would help the campaign.
I believe it makes her that much more appealing. The idea is here's a woman that I think is incredibly in touch with what the American people face every day. This is just one more thing. All the parents understand exactly what she's going through.
On the same day, Sarah Palin also hired a lawyer to handle another issue. The Alaskan legislature is investigating whether she fired her public safety commissioner because he refused to fire a state trooper who had divorced Palin's sister. Though the first evening session of this convention was scrapped because of Gustav, protesters showed up anyway. Police used tear gas and more than 50 were arrested.
To nominate the next president of the United States, John McCain of Arizona.
Inside, before McCain was officially nominated, Republicans appealed for donations to help hurricane relief. A message echoed with a joint appearance from the current First Lady and the woman who could be the next one.
I would ask that each one of us commit to join together to aid those in need as quickly as possible. As John has been saying for the last several days, this is a time when we take off our Republican hats and put on our American hats.
We have just learned from a convention official that there will indeed be an evening session tonight that will feature Joe Lieberman and also Fred Thompson. Interesting to note that on the original schedule, Sarah Palin was scheduled to speak tonight. That will not happen. Maggie?
Thank you, Jeff. Joining me now is Nicolle Wallace, a senior advisor to the McCain campaign. Good morning, Nicolle.
Good morning, Maggie.
Senator McCain has said that he knew that Governor Palin's daughter was pregnant when he chose her. When did he find out and from whom?
Well, you know, anyone that ends up on the vice presidential spot on a presidential ticket goes through what would, to you and me, be an excruciatingly invasive vetting process. So this was known to the team that vetted her. This was known to Senator McCain. This was known to Mrs. McCain. And this didn't give anyone any pause. This was not going to keep us from selecting the best person and the real partner that John McCain was looking for.
There's also the allegation that she tried to have her former brother-in-law fired. Is John McCain certain, would he be willing to bet his campaign that that is not true?
He already has. And let me tell you something about this trooper investigation and all of the media sensationalism around it. When you're a public official and law enforcement is tasked with protecting your life and protecting your family, the very first thing they ask you is do you have any enemies? Does anyone want to kill you? Does anyone want to hurt you? And the fact that she had to disclose that this very violent and aggressive man had threatened to kill her father, had tasered his stepson, and had threatened violence against her and her family, that is her responsibility before taking on protection from the troopers for herself and her family. And that is also her obligation, a very solemn one, to the people of Alaska.
You say that she was vetted, that you knew all of this, but there are reports that the team that was set to vet her in Alaska just arrived there Thursday, the day before the announcement was made. Is that true?
Maggie, they're there for you. They're there for the media that descended on Alaska to vet them. Now, a media vetting is understandable. It's part of our process. So that's just a media vetting, is what you're saying? That's for you. That's for people in the media that have descended on Alaska and are investigating and really with fervor digging into the personal lives of the Palin family. Now, that's part of our politics. I think all of our politicians understand that. But what's never happened before to this degree is this kind of frenzied investigation into the personal lives of the children. And we were very heartened to see even Senator Obama stand up yesterday and say, hey, kids are off limits.
All right, let's move to the question of why he chose her. There were reports that he wanted Tom Ridge and Joe Lieberman, people he knew a lot better than he knew Sarah Palin. Why did he settle on a woman whom he'd just met twice before he offered her the job?
You know, he described her as his soulmate, and I think when you look at the path that John McCain took to the nomination of his
soulmate
party,
after meeting her twice?
Well, there are not a lot of people who have done what Sarah Palin have done in standing up to big oil, in standing up to the corruption in her own party in Alaska. I like to talk to both of them about what their first day would be like if they actually won. They might be the only two people who would walk around Congress and maybe not be received as the most friendly allies of Congress and of business as usual in Washington. You know, Congress has a 12% approval rating. She has an 80% approval rating. And we were very, very honored that she accepted our offer to run on Senator McCain's ticket.
All right, Nicolle Wallace, thank you.
Thank you.